Okay, so these triangle pieces push down into the corners, and that holds the wedge, if you will, the bevel, clean. And then you want to sort of secure it all so it's all solid. One of the key parts here is, again, you're trying to create the circular shape that goes here, the circular shape here. I think this is feeling a little boxy here, so I'm trying to just push it back into a little more of a circle. It's supposed to be very boxy here, so it's okay for that to be flat. Part of the key of deciding how you're going to cut this now that it's all buried inside is you want to create some support for the circular parts. So you create these negative spaces that are tapered on both sides and cupped in the middle. Cupped in the middle, tapered, so it goes flatter as it gets to the ends. One thing that's missing, of course, is that you need to add the last piece. This is the fourth piece. These are the three-fourths, and this is the last piece, which was like this, of course. It was this double-shaped cup. I cut it in the middle, and that way you understand that it's a cycle. That if you were to start at one end and repeat it again, it would keep going through the same motion. So you can build a lot of these logs. I'm creating what's the cup part for the bottom side, and this allows, you know, the problem with clay again is that it's soft, and that's the beautiful thing about it. But you want to go back and here, make sure that when I press down, like I was just pressing there, I'm creating this to be a little flatter than I want it to be. So I'm going to go back in and circle it again. Now the bottom has these negative shapes cupped in it. It supports it, so now it can be cut with a knife and it'll keep the shape that you intended it to have. And that's why building all these I would probably fill out some more powder blue all along so it's got a certain kind of finish to it. And everybody knows that's the neutral color. And what you're doing is you have a cycle. It's a 360-degree turn. It starts here and ends here, and it flows, you know, through these pieces back to here. And you can see that it pinches down and creates these tildes, or these flowing S-curves, very elongated S-curves all along. And interior to this, I've created the two-point perspective of a C with the flat parts moving along it's all been done not as three-point perspective, but two-point perspective from the center. So it's all at the horizon line, right to the center of it, that all this takes place. Doing letters that have, so that finishes that. Doing letters that have actually a directional perspective or a angle on it are a different kind of thinking process. Similar to this, but you have to, again, graph out what you're expecting to get, think it through, and try to create the kinds of flowing, thinking through the flow and the twist of each shape, trying to piece them all together so it creates the desired effect. And for more complicated, this is a sans serif letter. If it has serifs, it becomes more difficult because you have to add little pieces of clay inside where the serifs exist. And if you're doing it at a three-point perspective, it's more difficult, and doing it from a kind of a quarter angle looking down, it's not really more difficult, but you have to think it through in a different way than this neutral perspective. So this is a rotating C.